Hi there, welcome to another episode of Around the Emirates with Sarah. I'm here with Emily, who is a marine biologist, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. So your job or your experience basically is helping with animals and taking care of them at five-star hotels around the world, right? So tell me about your story.
Yeah, so I've worked on kind of a real range, so all the way from kind of grassroots conservation projects in like northern Cyprus and the Bahamas to five-star resorts in the Maldives and here in the UAE, all the time focusing on marine conservation, sustainability, and generally helping out, the animals. Yeah,
Kudos to the animals.
whoever's local.
Okay, that's cool. So you have a master's, you said?
Yes, in marine biology.
So what's your story? What inspired you to enter this industry?
Actually, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a killer whale trainer at SeaWorld, which is what,
grow up.
which is what put me onto this path. And then I got a bit older, and I was like, maybe SeaWorld's like not the place that I want to be, but I do want to be helping these animals, and I've just always loved the ocean. I love there's still so much that we don't know. I got my degree in biology, and then I did a master's in marine biology, which was a fully research degree. So that was I set up my own hypothesis. I went out and I was really lucky to do research in Australia on the Great Barrier Reef.
Wow.
And then
That's exciting.
traveled the world, and it's great.
Okay, so so you started off. So you went into college thinking, I'm gonna do something to help the animals, and then as you got the experience, you decided to take a step further with your master's. Now, what was the first type of role that you had? Like, what was your first kind of employment?
While I was at university, every summer I was working on a turtle conservation project in northern Cyprus. So this was my first glimpse into turtles and into local conservation. So obviously conservation work is a lot of the time like people from other nationalities coming in and saying do this, do that, and that was my first experience with working with local communities. Actually, we were going in and advising, but they were the ones who would obviously continue to do that work.
I see. So you're all about the turtles, basically. Your turtles are the main focus.
I do love turtles.
Love
there's
turtles.
something, they're so helpless, like we got to do something for them.
No, fair enough. Do you have a specific favorite type of turtle or something?
No, in Cyprus we were working with green turtles and loggerheads. And in Abu Dhabi it's a hawksbill turtle, which is the hawksbill's the one that you probably have seen. If you have, tortoise shell jewelry, that's like the hawksbill pattern.
Gotcha.
So these are the ones that are popular for tourism. And
I see. Yeah. Okay. So obviously today is World Animal Day, and part of the reason why I wanted to film this episode with you is because I wanted to talk to you about, what are the challenges in this industry, what can we do to help the turtles, save the turtles, and I thought it was just really important to raise awareness for just taking care of animals in general, doing our part. So, in your opinion, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you've come across in this industry for turtles, and how has that been overcome, or how is this getting better, basically?
So for sea turtles, turtles only come on land when they need to lay their eggs. So turtles are struggling worldwide with just coastal development, moors being built along the coastlines, which means there's less space for them to come and lay their nests and then for the eggs. Alongside that, turtles really struggle, and hawksbills in particular struggle with plastics in the ocean. So a hawksbill, their diet consists of jellyfish, and in the water a plastic bag looks a lot like a jellyfish. So hawksbills are really susceptible to eating plastics that float around, and this is two of the biggest things.
And they die when they eat the plastic, right?
If they ingest a lot, and something big like a plastic bag would probably be fatal for them.
That's harsh. That hurts.
But where I used to work, we would get unfortunately sometimes dead turtles washing up, and if you do a necropsy to kind of study the cause of death, inside their stomachs there were always plastics, whether that was the reason that they died or not, and most often it wasn't. In my case, they still had plastics in their stomach.
So either way, it's still detrimental.
It's still affecting their life cycle.
I see. Okay, so what can we do to avoid that? Just not throw plastics in the ocean? Is there a specific thing we're doing?
Use less plastic is the big one. Take a reusable bag to the shop, take your reusable water bottle around, just be a bit more mindful with kind of how you do your shopping and how you live your life.
Bags specifically, or not like cutlery is fine, but like bags specifically to avoid, or just
like
all plastic?
Okay. In fact, all single-use items aren't great, because if you think, there's 7 billion people on the world, if everyone's using something once and throwing it away, it's a lot of waste. And with masks now, with COVID, it's like an added issue, because
the PP,
people are using
PP something.
PPE.
The name of like the gloves.
Yeah, PPE.
PPE. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
personal
smart.
protective equipment.
There we go.
It just like it's compounding. Like if you think everyone's throwing 2 or 3 masks away a day.
Yeah.
Just imagine the number that's there.
Obviously.
So just use less. Be more mindful, and then obviously if you do, sometimes it's unavoidable. Dispose of it appropriately. Don't just throw it out the car window or leave it on the beach, or take your rubbish with you. And
So my next question is, what is something interesting about turtles that we may not necessarily know about?
Turtles can breathe out of their bum.
Is that a fart, or is that breathing?
No, it's breathing. They have at the back, they've got this thing called the cloaca, which they can also do gas exchange through.
I love how you're putting it as gas exchange, but it's like, she's just trying to breathe, man. Like a girl's trying to breathe. Okay, so next time I fart, I'll be like, it's my cloaca.
Just be breathing, Cloaca.
Cloaca. Is it cloaca or cloaca?
Cloaca.
Cloaca?
Yeah.
Cloaca.
You can Google it.
I like that word, cloaca. Okay, cool. And what is like a kind of funny story that you have interacting with turtles?
So when I was working in Cyprus, turtles come to the beach to lay their eggs at night. And so as volunteers, we would be on the beach, and we would have to walk up and down the beach every 10 or 15 minutes to check for any turtles that had come up to lay their eggs.
I see.
In busy times, obviously, we would walk every time we would find a turtle. As the season, like at the beginning and end of the season, it's a bit more quiet, and there's not as much going on. So my colleagues and I would, someone would go for a walk, and you would kind of draw fake tracks in the sand.
Okay.
So that when the next volunteer came along, they thought they'd found a turtle. They would follow those tracks, and then one of us would be hiding in the sand, ready to jump out, or we'd build a fake nest, or
Y'all are savage.
At 3 a.m. on the beach. This was great.
Just fucking jumping out of the bushes like you thought you found a turtle. Well, you didn't. Wow. Okay. Good to know what you guys are really doing in your downtime. But
you got to do something to keep awake, because it's you got to stay up all night.
True,
so
very
true.
I didn't actually think about the staying awake part in the saving the turtles, #save the turtles right there. Okay, wow. So the 3 main things I learned from this episode is that do not trust whoever's taking care of the turtles, because they're jumping out of bushes. The next thing I've learned is that turtles can fart as well as I can, turtles can breathe as well as I can fart.
Yeah.
And the third thing I've learned is use less plastic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That is the message of the day. Do you have any other advice you want to leave for our readers? It's the one thing they're not. Readers /
watchers.
Viewers / listeners, watchers, yeah.
Fans. One more piece of advice. I would just say, it's very easy to think, if you use one less plastic bag, or, one less bottle or something, that, is it really making a difference? But actually, yeah. It sounds very cliche, but small individual actions obviously do add up. So everything you can do is beneficial for the planet.
That's a good point. I mean, people usually say what difference does it make if I leave the water on a little bit too long, or if I, chuck out the plastic in a non-recyclable bin or whatever. And or even just keep using, for example, on different delivery apps, they have an option where you can say no cutlery.
Plastic, yeah.
So you definitely sit there and you're like, well, am I actually making a difference? There's 7 billion people on this planet. I don't know if that number's correct, but 7 billion people, and we're all doing the same shit. Other people are doing worse, but actually it's a united effort to conserve the environment, help the animals out. And I get so sad when I see dolphins with those cup ring thingies.
That happens now with masks, with the string from a mask.
Seriously?
That's now getting caught around bird legs and things. Yeah.
We suck. But
so I mean, even if you're using a disposable mask, that's an individual choice, but cut the string as well when you throw it away. Small things like this, actually, it's it helps.
Wait, so what's the best way to dispose of something like that? You cut off the strings?
Just, it's like a loop. Yeah. Just cut it so that it's 2 loose bits.
Oh, so it's not actually a full loop. It's just
because otherwise the loop gets caught around. You can see images online if you Google it. There's birds with masks wrapped around their feet and stuff.
Wow, I had no idea we were doing stuff like that. And like gloves, same thing, like gloves being thrown around, like all that stuff.
I mean, gloves are obviously an issue, like, because they're plastic, but I haven't seen as many images of things getting caught in them. Probably they would swallow them. Same like animals swallow balloons as well, like stuff like that.
Okay. Well, this has been a very enlightening episode. Obviously, once again, this is, for World Animal Day. So, guys, be nice to your animals, be nice to your environment. We only get one planet, all that green planet stuff. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's been a pleasure. I've learned so much, and I hope that our viewers are, paying attention to what they can do better, and save the animals. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.